It wasn't straight.
Mm-hmm. So how was it for you? How was it for you this week?
How was it for you?
How was it for me?
How was it for us?
For us.
Yeah, we, I think something we want to talk about is doing this because we're getting comments from people who like to see us talking, like to experience us talking, and so here we are talking.
Yeah, it's interesting that people are enjoying hearing us talking as much as they enjoy hearing us singing. It actually means a lot to me.
And I don't know if that's what we're speaking to. It's more that the talking makes us human now, whereas the performance is so large.
Mm-hmm. We were having really tough days kind of in the middle of the week, and it's a combination of me.
Really got sick.
I was sick again, so that wasn't helpful, and then I got my period, which was really, really heavy.
I didn't react as much but I felt the PMS this time more than the last time.
Really?
Yeah. I was very sad.
It was so bloody. It was so bloody. It's a strange thing about us is he experiences my PMS. Sometimes he will go through the PMS emotional shit, and I'll bleed, and I'll be like, what? And he'll say, your period's coming soon. I'm like, who are you to say that my period is coming?
It is funny.
It is funny. You know how women get their periods together? It's like we kind of get periods. We're weird. Yeah, so Thoth had to play solo this week, and it was amazing. What was your experience?
Was it 4 days that I did?
3 days.
Because we played, we did Valentine's Day, and that was
together,
really pretty.
Which was so sweet.
So doing Valentine's Day was very inspired for us both,
Mm-hmm.
because it was the first time we really went there and had a really, really good time playing.
Yeah, and there was nobody around.
Not in person.
It's funny how some days I'm deeply affected by the fact that there's nobody there, and other days I couldn't care less. I'm just completely focused on singing with him.
And I really had to clean up because that Sunday I felt very attacked by a bunch of things. And so I was left after performance with a lot of extraneous energy.
Yeah.
And so Valentine's Day, on a day of expressing love, I was able to move that through. And that was really important.
Yeah. But what was it like for you to play solo?
At first it was really scary. It started on Friday, so I had 3 days. And it was scary because I had experienced that last Sunday, which I felt very vulnerable. But then at the walk there, I was very excited. And then when I got there and I set up and did a ceremony, I just went into it. It was as if I had been doing solo for the entire time. And it's almost like I didn't lose a step.
Mm-hmm.
It was very strange. And it was exalting, and I was exhausted by the end. But it was really, really, it really gave me confidence in the expression.
Mm-hmm. It was beautiful. It was so mesmerizing to watch. I haven't been able to watch him play solo for a really long time. And I think for me, being sick, I've experienced many, 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 many years of being sick during a performance time in Manhattan, especially in Manhattan, in Lisbon, and San Diego, and San Francisco. And I would force myself to go. I would force myself to go out no matter what. I'd sing on a sore throat just because I felt worthless if I didn't do it. And Thoth was never forcing me. I was never being forced. I would force myself. Because I just felt useless. if I couldn't sing, and I didn't want to just go and play violin or dance. My voice was the thing. But now I can just being there was so empowering for me too, because I was just there with you, and I wasn't singing, I wasn't talking, wasn't even there with you playing, and I felt I am still me, even though I'm not able to do this. And supporting you was great. It just felt really good.
It's interesting in contrast to that one time that we both remember where you got really sick and you couldn't play, and I went out and I did it by myself, and you were really you got so.
Oh, you mean a long time ago?
In the Angel Tunnel,
Yeah,
it was a long time.
Oh my god, that was so difficult. It was so painful. I got so sick in New York when I was living with the nuns back in 2009 or something, and we were first playing together, and it was the first time that he went out by himself after we'd started playing together, and I was just so ripped to shreds because I thought he was going to then be like, well, I can do this solo thing still, so I don't need you anymore. And I cried so hard, and I went out there and sat there very grumpily.
Grumpy.
It was so sad. There's pictures of it. And he just sitting there going, yeah, so.
And I was having that nerve thing, and I couldn't really even play.
Yeah. And there was almost a feeling of we were together because you were kind of not well.
So strange that I had that then.
Yeah, and if you do you still have that?
Not like that.
It's strange.
Yeah, it is strange. It's almost like playing. I can move through any kind of illness or malady.
Yeah, it's healing.
But the playing is so. There's so much energy movement through heart, body, mind. If there is anything that is mean in the body, not supposed to be there, then it's propelled, it's pushed away. Mm-hmm. And we've experienced that in life too.
Energy with people.
Yeah.
Any dark energy, it eventually has to move out of the space that we're in because our energy is so light.
I remember that one in San Diego so well.
Oh yeah.
Because those people were they kind of like were camped out in the hall, and these people are in the hall, and then they were not very clean. Mm-hmm. And as soon as we went into our, and we let them be there.
Very stinky.
We didn't tell them to go away, but we let them be there, and we didn't want them to be there, but we let them, and then when we started playing, they all packed up and ran away.
Yeah, because they just can't. I mean, it's possible that they just don't want to be in a place where there are people staring at them. But yeah, and the space we play in right now it has dark energy. It has dark male energy, and we don't know what these people are. They could just be regular people.
And that's another thing I was feeling when I went out there, is that it is so male. And I wasn't noticing it until that Sunday, how male it is. It's the women actually are a little coy in going in there and hanging out and watching.
There's no women, or even the people that stand around the space and stare at us or stare at you. There's no women. There's maybe one or two.
So I have to accept that and accept that that's what is going on there. And there's a reason, there's a purpose to it. There's and it's the way it is, and to hold that the way it is and be with it.
And it's all local, and it's all local people.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of these guys could be drunk.
Who knows?
Don't have
Drunk,
any idea.
high.
They don't talk to us.
They don't talk to us. They laugh at you when you go, you're ha la vachi la basuda thing. Which used to make me laugh too, because it's scary. People don't know what to do with it. But how does it feel to bring in this different kind of male energy that you have into that kind of general male, darker male energy, because you're basically naked and you're running around and you're very,
And I'm wiggling my hips and being extremely
shaking your butt.
I'm doing my non-binary thing, and they're, for the most part, it's pretty macho.
It's macho man.
So they have a reaction, and whatever that reaction is, I have to pull it and hold it and purify it, in a sense, transform it, and that's interesting. We have some clips of me doing that, and it's actually remarkable for me to see that. And each time I see it, I'm like, whoa. But any energy is fuel for me. I've grown up with so much oppression in my life that there's not much that I can't turn into love.
Yeah. Okay.
But there were these young boys watching, and they
girl also.
That was on Sunday.
So cute.
And
they
they have a very different reaction because they're in the phase of looking for superheroes.
Yeah, I don't have any idea what's going on, and they might just see you as a god or some kind of the mythic thing that we both envision ourselves as being.
Well, I felt like some of them did feel that because energetically it felt that way. They were very present.
Yeah.
Some more than others, and that's always the case. So I really, and I went eye to eye with them.
And you have no idea how you're impacting these children.
No.
Any kind of child. The experience that I have when watching and playing in this kind of environment in Mexico, in public, is just how it's going to feel when we are in places like Asia or India or Egypt or places like that, countries where people are more struggling more than the people that come and visit the country, that will probably experience this kind of strange, where people just don't have any idea what to do. They're not going to speak to us. The thing I found the most interesting was people standing there when we walked away. They just stand there.
Yeah, the last of the performances last Sunday, there's a lot of people there, and I think it was surrounded the entire time. And after packing up and leaving, everybody was still there, looking.
They didn't make a move. They didn't clap. They didn't respond. They didn't say anything. Nobody came up to you.
Nobody.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. Maybe they're just dumbfounded, confused. Maybe they just want you to keep doing it, and they don't know how to ask you to keep going.
And they're also responding to the fact that musicians here in Mexico are beggars. And begging is the part of music making that has kind of, for public music making, that has adhered to them. And so in a certain sense, they could be waiting for me to just go around with my hand out, but I didn't, and I just pack up and leave. We do that, and there's such a beautiful joy in doing that, because it so releases them. They can be with whatever they were without having to deal with the fact, should I give money, I don't have money, and it just lets them free of that responsibility, and I really, really like that.
And the hope for me, by not putting a case out, by not putting the hand out to anyone, is that maybe they will get some kind of an experience of that and go like, whoa, okay, these people just did this beautiful, or this individual just did this beautiful, mesmerizing, haunting, obviously extremely energetic expression in a public space, and they didn't ask us for anything. And so what does that mean in regards to everyone else who is putting the hand out to me everywhere I go in this country?
And what does that mean?
What does that mean? Because people will literally try to sell you a bracelet and put their hand out. And if you don't want the bracelet, really they're just begging. They just want money. They're not doing anything. They just sit there and kind of look at you very sadly and hope that you'll give them some money. Or send their children after you.
Yeah, so I'm not pleased with musicians as beggars. I believe art is a sacred gift in all its quaternity shades, and that it's been turned into a begging activity is really sad. Sad for the planet, sad for the people, sad for everything.
It's really sad because live public music, it used to be what it is that we do now. It used to be people's freedom to go out and be self-expressive and do something from their own hearts. Now it's just to give me money, which causes people to not give anything because they then, in this country that I'm noticing, people ignore public performers because they know that they're going to ask them for money.
Yeah, that makes me sad.
Isn't that sad? Because they might be doing something interesting, like we are, but people are afraid to do anything because they're afraid that people are going to run around begging them for money. And I do wonder how it impacts people. It's very liberating to not do that. We never have done that. We've never put our hands out. Never.
I do like people being motivated by they've received something, that notion that they've received something, and thus they can make the choice to exchange.
I know, and that's happened, couple of times in one day that we've played in this spot, where one individual gave their child some money and he actually came up into the space when we finished and gave it to us, and then a few other locals came over and said, here, and it's this thing of people do it because other people do it. It's almost, it really does feel like an experiment. The whole process of our life and the lifestyle we live feels like an experiment.
I am calling us philanthropic artists.
Yeah, that feels good. It is what I've always wanted to be. I've always just wanted to be able to give the work away and then walk away. And I'm really grateful that we can do that now, which actually goes into the sustaining of the lifestyle.
It does?
Yeah. I know people might be curious how we sustain ourselves this way, and because we've been able to live independently as creative individuals.
I call us outlaws.
Yeah, iconoclastic outlaw artist types for over a decade, and it really is incredible to look and realize that we have. And it's been that we've always lived within our means. That might seem extremely simplistic, but it's one of the most important things that we both just intrinsically know how to do. Most people just don't know this.
You're being pushed to buy things on the internet. Just going on the internet and looking around, you're always being a hand is being put out, electronic hand, to subscribe to this, to do this, to get this, and a person who, if they don't show restraint, can get so many subscriptions, and before they know it, they have at the end of the month they have a subscription to this, that, and much that they're not using.
Mm-hmm.
So we're really careful to use everything we do.
We use everything we buy, and basically we spend money on the things that we need. We spend money on a place to stay, which is the most important thing. It's really important for us to have a safe, secure, beautiful, comfortable, cozy home to come back to, because we tend to stay home most of the time anyway, because we're super creative and kind of reclusive.
And that is part of it also. We don't seek entertainment.
Yes, that's a big part. That's actually a huge way that we save money, and we in a way, I feel like in the past it would be that we would stay home because we didn't want to spend money because we were afraid of spending money, whereas now we just stay home because we like to stay home and we like to be creative. I find within one day I can't do all the creative things I want to do. I want to draw, I want to write, I want to edit videos, I want to write music, and I never get around to everything I want to do.
So that doing thing is, I have the art quaternity, which is the four arts. I consider them the primal arts, and that is writing. So we both are working on writing of some sort. Music, we are always working on music, no matter whether we're writing it or it's going to be coming up as a performance. Art, or visual arts, where we both are doing our different art studies, and most people don't know that I do that, and I don't show any, I do not show it at all.
You don't?
And dance, and we dance everywhere. I especially love to just dancing up and down the street.
Especially in the nice temperate weather.
It's so nice to dance here.
I am, for the rest of my life, we're never going to be in a place where it's fucking cold ever again. It's always...
We're never going to be in the cold
skimpy
again.
Clothes.
Yeah,
I
like
love him in skimpy clothes.
I like not wearing things.
Skimpy clothes.
And see-through clothes, and they blow up in the wind, and I like it.
He likes it. He goes, woo! But, and then we also, we spend money on meals, food, and that's one of our favorite things. We love going out to eat. We love having good, delicious, wholesome, healthy food. And in a nice, pretty environment, that's just something that nourishes us both.
And that's an art.
Yeah.
I respect the artist, the chef artist, a lot. As I've cooked a lot in my life, so I really respect the person who is giving a gustatory treats. They come into your body. They make you feel better. And if the senses and your taste buds are and your olfactory center are stimulated, it can give you as much energy as anything. So it's important for us to meet chefs and cooks who are capable of doing that, and if they fail at doing that, then we avoid them.
Yeah, and having a bad meal
hurts us.
Like, let's say we have a really nice day, just being creative at home, or we have a good performance or something, and then we have a bad meal. It's just, ugh. This really doesn't feel good. It's funny because it is a very big difference between what we used to have problems with. Sometimes I'll joke about it and I'll say, one of our biggest problems is not having a nice meal out, but having nice food to eat in a healthful, lovely environment where the people are nice, and especially after we play, is really significant because it's a reward. Food used to be a major reward that we really wouldn't be able to eat unless we could play. But that's stayed in us, that rewarding ourselves with a really nice meal after we do the work, after we have a busy day of being creative, is really important for us.
After a performance, you usually have so much energy in so many different ways, and then to be fed in all my senses and my belly full and replenished is really important. I used to really, really love raw food. Raw food is a raw food chef is very difficult to find. It's a kind of a difficult art.
Yeah. The vegetarian and vegan stuff in this area of the world is relatively easy to find, which we love. And then the other thing we spend money on is art supplies. And we're not overindulgent about it at all. And costume things, little. I got him these little guys today, and got this in Guanajuato, and pretty jewelry and necklaces and makeup and costumes and.
Didn't Monty Python do a skit about jewelry, where they were punning between jewelry and jewelry? I'm sure they did.
I don't remember.
Yes,
They probably did.
They did. That is very funny.
So we really know how to manage with what we have. We got really good at managing with very little for a very, 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 very long time. So we know how to live even beneath our means, I'd say, most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Very much like my immediate feeling when our life changed was not, let's just stay in the United States. Let's get an apartment and go into debt and have big credit card bills and crap. It's let's get the fuck out of the United States as quickly as we can and go to countries where we can sustain ourselves. We can sustain the lifestyle that we have. And for me, that is
creating.
Continue to be creative. And that really is the number one most important thing in my mind is sustainability. Because we're very passionate about continuing to do this work. And we've had various obstacles in our way to keep us from continuing to do it. And we're very much in a place where we are responsible for our own lives now, and we're on our own, completely on our own, for the first time.
Outlaws.
Yeah, and we don't have a big supportive network of people around us, so we really have to rely on each other and rely on what we have. So it's sustaining.
Another thing that we do. I think that's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
Entertainment, as I mentioned, is perhaps one of the things that people spend the most money on.
Yeah, right.
And because we're so creative, are always able to entertain ourselves.
And are very happy to.
Yeah, very happy to. I don't listen to any other music because I don't need to.
Yeah.
I can just create music whenever I want to hear music.
And for example, us being in this beautiful area of the world in the Yucatan and Tulum and Playa del Carmen and Cancun and Cozumel and all these beautiful places, everybody just assumes that we're going off into the cenotes and we're going swimming in the beach and we're finding all these crystalline beautiful oceans and going to Xcaret and all the... We're not. We don't want to. And I think probably when we first landed here, I had the experience when I was a kid, when I was about 10, of coming to this area of the world and doing all of that as a child. Staying in a all-inclusive hotel and eating French fries all day long. And
eating French fries all day.
Yeah, that's all I ate. I don't know why. But we went snorkeling, we had the beautiful ocean at our feet, we had shows every night, and and now it's just, we're very happy to just be together, talk together, be creative, and play our music. And it, in its funny way, it keeps us able to keep doing this.
So where are we, and what is the other thing that we... I think that one of the difficult things for me is that when the sweetie is sick, it's hard for us to be sick, and her mood lowers, and I'm fortunate when she got sick that I was playing by myself and I was able to be very stable mood-wise. But for us, when we get sick, we get very sad.
Very sad, because the voice is the sense of identity within us, and when the voice is unwell and the throat is dry and scratchy, it feels like maybe we've done something to it, and maybe the voice won't come back. But it's funny for me, my voice and your voice comes back even stronger when we've been sick for a few days. But yeah, being sick is not fun, period. It's not fun when you're traveling, it's not fun when you're living in one place.
So it's really strange that I didn't get sick.
Glad
We tracked it back to an individual who gave us hugs at the same time as telling us he was sick. And we were like,
That's
why are you
nice.
hugging us? And everybody who he hugged that day got sick. And so we'd say to everybody, please don't hug people when you're sick. I didn't get sick. I was the only one.
It's funny that you didn't.
I just didn't want to. Are we finished? Maybe. Maybe we are.
Anyway, let's just say that I'm really proud of him. He's an inspiration to this day, and goddamn, I hope that through sharing these things with all of you, that this thing that he does and the thing that we do together can be seen by people.
People do see it.
You see it.
All those guys saw it, whether they wanted to or not.
Whatever they felt it was or not, yeah.
I really don't concern myself with what people think. I rarely ever talk about it, or mostly I'm just, once I start into the ceremony, I've become completely in the mode of pure expression. I don't need anybody to give me approbation or anything. I just know that it's time to explode and tear myself open. And I know that I am a truly loving being, and I know that the work that I do and the expression I do is loving, and I don't have to concern myself with their projections, because I know that that's my intent. Pure, simple.
He's a bunny.
I have a bunny tail too.
Do you? What am I?
A unicorn and a bunny.
Yeah. Unicorn and bunny
But
forever.
I'm also a killer bunny.
Yes. Goodness, Pamela, he goes.
He just soars through the air. He soars through the air and just grabs. It's just a little puppy.